Hello and welcome to the Pembroke Pines Book Club. Today I have a complement of men here reading a book I loved. Mayor Frank Ortis, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm terrific. How are you?
Good.
You got a cold?
Coming off a cold.
Oh, okay. And Commissioner Carl Schechter, how are you?
Although I got what he got.
And former Commissioner Jack McCluskey.
I don't have what they have.
And we all read a book called Double Down, which is Game Change 2012, written by the two men who wrote Game Change about the 2008 election. This is the 2012 election. Was written by Mark Halperin and John Heilemann. What I liked about this book is that it was written by two men, one of whom is obviously a Democrat, and one of whom obviously is a Republican. So you get a balanced look at the back stories of the election. What do you think?
I liked it. It's the first time I ever read a 600-page book in 3 days. Just couldn't put it down. It held my interest throughout because I'm a political junkie. I love this stuff. And it was a retrospective of the campaign as it evolved over the period of many, many months. And I found that every step of the way, I remember that.
That's
I remember
right.
that. You know,
I remember that, but I didn't know that.
Yes, and there were insights. There were insights that you can't get from reading the newspapers or watching the commentators. And they really bring it right to the front. They explain it. They're not pro or con. They're not in favor of either side. They just lay it out on the line. Use your own judgment as to what happened.
Right.
But they give you the insights as to the thinking of the campaigns and how those campaigns evolved, the mistakes that were made, the things that were done right, the things that were done wrong.
And the people who directed those campaigns.
Yes.
You
and
get
then
to
you
know
look back
them.
and you say, that's right. That was the wrong thing to do. And it was really a great book. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to anybody who's interested in politics.
Me too. Mayor, what do you think?
Well, I take Commissioner Schechter's opinion. I liked the book. I didn't read the first one, but this was a good book. And again, had the same feeling of not being able to put it down. When all of this was going on, we said, why don't he just sit down with the speaker? Come to find out by the two editors, he did. In fact, they smoked cigars, they had coffee, they went out and played golf. So, in fact, they did sit down, where I was led to believe that there was no sitting down and no meeting at all. And what I saw, got from the book about all the deals being made, which I knew from other sources, that the Speaker of the House has a real quandary because of the real Tea Party people that are kind of controlling the House.
The split within the
split,
Republican
and he has
Party.
to kind of balance this to get legislation brought up in the House and to be passed. So it's not easy. But the old days when they said about Ronald Reagan having a drink with the Speaker,
Tip
Tip
O'Neill.
O'Neill, now reminisces me back to that, saying, well, they tried that.
Yeah, it didn't
So
work.
the president did try that. So I liked the book, and the back part of it, the finale, were about, they want to mention the 47% when that just evolved with Mitt Romney,
Right.
with the health care and all of that. So it all came out to be true. And pretty much, you read the book and say, right, this all came out to be true.
This was my type of book. I had read Game Change.
Yeah.
I like the authors. One of them's a Time writer, Time magazine writer. And I've been reading Time since the beginning of time. Anyway, it shows you that Boehner is not the juggler that Tip O'Neill was.
Nah.
I think Obama is a very private person, and to be a private person and a politician, some people don't comprehend.
Right.
But the fact that he's invited Boehner so many times. Boehner doesn't even answer the phone sometimes. Or when he invites someone, they don't come. That's not how
And then they can say,
oh yeah,
we never,
we never associated with him.
right.
But
But,
the thing I get, and you just made me think of it as you were speaking. This is different than it was back in the other
Oh
days.
yes,
Because you don't have the extremists who don't want this president to win
Right.
on anything.
yeah,
Back in the days when you're talking about it, the country was foremost in everybody's mind. Today it's not. People will say that publicly, which floors me, that I was elected just to get rid of Obama.
yeah.
You know,
But-
it just
but
floors me to say,
These
what about the
people were-
country?
There is one thing that I got out of this that did not surprise me, and that's the inner fighting in the same campaign. That to me is not unusual. That happens all the time, and
Sure.
we've all been through it. You know that your best friend may say this or that, but that's life. It goes on. They knocked some of the reviewers knocked Joe Biden because of the gossip, if you will,
The
about
gaffes
him.
that-
And the gaffes. That's Joe.
Uncle
And-
Joe.
and that's
I
life.
love that they call him Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe, yeah,
It's-
that was cute. But that is the epitome of a campaign. There is all this inner fighting, and there's arguing and serious arguing.
Those things happen. But we all loved this book.
Yes.
I liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Thumbs up.
4 thumbs up. Oh, so we're recommending Double Down, Game Change 2012 by Mark Halperin and John Heilemann. For OCTV, I'm Elaine Kugelman, and I'd like to thank you for joining us, Mayor Ortis for reading Double Down, and Carl Schechter and Jack McCluskey for joining us and always reading the books that we recommend. Thank you all.
Pleasure.